With the amount of groups that are in K-pop, it is obvious that not every one of them is going to be super popular. In every generation, you of course have your nugu groups and your super popular ones. However, there are those groups that sit in the middle, ones that definitely have a following, but aren't the most popular in their generation. Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be talking about these groups and going through some examples and what really makes them kinda in the middle. As always, if you do enjoy, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and let's get into it. So first things first, I wanted to come up with some of the things that I associate with these groups. Some kind of like guidelines that most of them follow. So starting off, their music videos normally get around 10 to 20 million views, like on average. Next is they often have very little wins, more like 1 to 2 or some cases no wins. They come from a mid-tier company. Their popularity mainly stems from their music quality being good, and then their fans being mainly from overseas rather than in Korea. Now, these are all the things that I could personally come up with, but if you have any other suggestions or any other ideas, you can feel free to leave them in the comments. With that being said though, let's get into talking about some actual groups now. Okay, I'm nerdy, but I'm not stupid. I'll try. The first group we're going to be matching against our quota is Purple Kiss. Now, starting off strong with the music video views, they do fall into the range of 10 to 20 million. I believe they don't have any music show wins as of my recording, of course. Their company that they come from is RBW, and if you don't know what that means, they are home to groups like Mamamoo, ONEUS, Kara, but it's definitely a mid-tier company. I would definitely say they are popular for their music. They obviously have their signature dark concept. I do believe most of their fandom is overseas, but I don't really know, so maybe that's wrong. Now, Purple Kiss is gonna get a 10 out of 10 really. They are the perfect example. They were actually the inspiration for this video. They are just the textbook example of what I mean by not being super popular but also not being nugu. Something to know is they fall into many typical 4th gen things, like the members help produce and write some songs, and also they had quite a big pre-debut scheme. So yeah, like I said, Purple Kiss is gonna get like a 10 out of 10 rating. The next group we're going to be looking at is Fromus 9, and they're an interesting case. Starting with their music video views, I think they're just a little too high. I mean, they're definitely not on par with some of the most popular ones, but they're just a bit too high, I think. Then their music show wins, again, are too high. They have a total of 8 wins, which, good for them, but doesn't really match with what we've said. And then here's the iffy thing with them, is their company. You see, Fromus are technically under Pledis, who in the past has been seen as a mid-tier company. However, may I just remind you, in 2020, Pledis was bought by Hybe, which is obviously part of the Big Four. Here's where things get complicated though. The group debuted in 2018, so that is 2 years before they merged with Hybe, so I think back then they were, but now they do have a certain level of privilege, but not that much because they're not exactly like Le Sserafim and New Jeans, so I'm just going to say yes and no for the company. However, they're definitely popular for their music. Many people have praised them for carrying G-Friend's crown and making, quote, Christian horse girl music in K-pop. And then when it comes to their fandom, I think they have got a relatively large Korean fandom, so they don't really meet that requirement either. Overall, I think if we were talking about them pre-Hybe acquisition, they would be getting more points. They would definitely be more in line with our rules we've come up with. However, now that they are technically part of Hybe, they have gained a lot of popularity, got a lot more privilege to them. So for that reason, I'm going to give them a 4 out of 10. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know an awful lot about P1 Harmony, so many of the things I say may be wrong. This is just based on what I could find on about them. So, as we have done for the previous two, let's start with the music video views. And yeah, they check out, but only just. They're definitely in the lower end, going to more 10 million. They also don't have any music show wins that I'm aware of. Where they fall kind of short is their company. Their company is FNC, who have groups like SF9, AOA, Cherry Bullet. I know AOA was quite a big group. However, I think SF9 and Cherry Bullet are both nugu. Like I said, I don't know, but I think FNC may be a nugu company, so that means they don't come from a mid-tier one. Now, if they're popular for their music, this is where my lack of knowledge really comes in, because I don't really know. I feel like they are just another one of those boy groups who from the 4th gen who make loud music, who blend in with the rest of them all. So that's what they sound like for me personally, but maybe for boy group stans their music is good. I don't really know for that one. Also, most of their fandom is international. So what I can really gather is that P1 Harmony isn't that popular because of a lack of proper promotion and the fact that they are, as I said, one of the many 4th gen boy groups who are following the same sort of sound and just blend into the crowd, really. I think also coupled with their company not being the most well known, that also kind of hinders them. They are right on that cusp of nugu and just mid, really. But I think I'm going to give them a 6 out of 10. The final group I'm going to be talking about in this video is CIX. Once again, I have to apologise because I do not know that much about the group. So once again, this is purely based on what I could find online. First things first, their music video views check out. Also, their music show wins, they only have one, I believe. However, with their company, they come from a very nugu company. Their company is C9 Entertainment. I don't know, but when I looked up the company and looked at what acts were under them, I did not know any of them. I also do think that they are popular for their music because a lot of the general consensus I saw online was saying how different they are from most 4th gen boy groups, how refreshing their discography is. And then in terms of their fans, I think they have a pretty good mix between domestic and international, so that's good. Most of their popularity, I think, comes from their music standing out from what most 4th gen boy groups are. And I really love that. The music that I did listen to by them was really good, so, you know, that checks out. I think if they actually had come from a mid-tier company rather than a nugu one, they would honestly, in my opinion, be one of the top 4th gen boy groups. Overall, I think I'm going to give them an 8 out of 10. And honestly, I'm kind of excited to listen to more of their stuff. Anyways, that was our final group, so this is going to be the end of today's video. Honestly, there is nothing wrong with being a mid-tier group. In fact, they are really the backbone of each generation. They help to bulk it up, help to make it feel more full and lively. A lot of the time they bring refreshing and new concepts that the popular groups just don't give us. It helps make it so that there really is something out there for everyone to listen to, and that's great. I know today's video was a little bit different than I normally do, so if you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I'd really appreciate it. In the meantime though, stay safe, and I'll see you on the next one.